Welcome back, YouTube fans and friends. BigGunner81 here. Before I begin, as always, this firearm has been safety checked. There are no cartridges in the chamber, and there's no magazine inside the mag well. If I happen to sweep the room like so, there is nobody behind the camera, and this is a safe area for filming. If you happen to see my last video about the Sig Sauer P226, particularly that was the Blackwater edition, similar to the TAC Ops, this is the Sig Sauer Mosquito. It's a 90% version, meaning it's 90% the size of the P226, and it's modeled after the P226. It shares many similarities between the 226 as far as the overall design, the shape, and kind of the ergonomics. Kind of, because everything is a little smaller on it, but not by much. So this particular pistol is chambered in 22, which is what the Mosquito comes in. It's a 22. Unlike the full-size version, unlike its mother or father version, or whatever you want to call it, because it's kind of like the baby version of the 226, the magazine only holds 10 rounds versus where the TAC Ops version, is designed to hold 20, so it's about half the size of capacity. Some of the things that are different would be, well, this is a less expensive pistol, being a 22 and everything. It does have a mechanical safety, and it's actually an ambidextrous safety, which you can kind of see there, on both sides. The sights on it are not Sig lights. When you first look at it, you might have thought maybe they were if you're looking at it at a distance, but when you start to really look at it up close, they're little yellow dots, which it does come with a different sight for the front, which you can change out to for your preference or whatever, and the rear sight is adjustable on it. So the sights are not like nearly as nice as the ones on the regular 226 and everything. It's a little different in this respect of it doesn't quite have the same beaver tail as the TAC Ops version, but it's modeled after the regular base 226, which doesn't have that little beaver tail. This is a double action, single action trigger. The trigger is not nearly as nice as the 226. Obviously it's a less expensive, firearm. I wouldn't call this a good pistol for self-defense, not just because it's a 22, but because of the jams that do occur from time to time with them. They can be very finicky about what kind of ammo you run on it. Sig Sauer recommends running the CCI mini mags, which right now in our current times, 22 ammunition is a little bit more difficult to come by. So when you're looking for a premium 22 ammunition like the mini mags, that's even harder. It comes with 2 recoil springs that you can choose from, a light and a heavy spring. You can vary them depending on what kind of ammo you run and kind of try it out and get a feel for what works, what doesn't with it. Definitely keeping this firearm clean and well lubricated is a big key to avoiding those malfunctions. One of the things is that it's a benefit of those malfunctions is that it's a good training tool, because you're going to get to experience some jams and some stovepipes and other malfunctions and have that opportunity to clean them out and so forth. So it can be a good tool in that respect. It's a great little plinking gun. It's inexpensive to shoot because it's 22, which also leads me to discuss this. If you have a 226, and even if you don't, but it is more beneficial to have a 226 because everything is very similar on this pistol as far as the ergonomics and the overall controls and everything. That this is a great tool to start out with when you first go to the range. Kind of when you first walk in there and you're setting up your targets and everything, and you're going to pick up your first firearm to go shoot. This is a great one to start with. Kind of helps you get your whole mindset going. Helps you get all those thoughts that go through your head when you're kind of trying to get your body into doing all the motions of shooting and so forth. And it's a good way to do that and start out and not blast off a lot of 9mm or 40 or 45 or whatever pistol cartridge you're running. That's way more expensive than the 22. So it's a great tool in that respect. As far as whatever controls are on it, it does have the decocker for when if you have the hammer back, you can decock it. The mag release, it's a little sticky on this one, and that may be kind of how they are. It's in a little bit better position, I would say, than the regular full-size 226. I can reach that one much better. The slide release is a little bit better location as well. Unlike if you watched the previous video, I talked about those being the two issues that I have with the 226 that I personally am not a big fan of: the location of the slide release and the mag release. But overall, Sig Sauer Mosquito, it's been great. I would say, as far as, back to the jamming issue, for me, maybe a 3 to 5% jam rate. There's times I've taken this out and haven't had one flaw with it, not one hiccup, not one problem, maybe in like 100, 200 rounds. And then there's times I take it out and, and within a couple magazines, I have 2 or 3, jams or failures or whatever. So it really varies, and maybe it's just I didn't clean it real well last time. I don't know. So I wouldn't put your life on this, but if you had to use it, you could, if you had no other option. But overall, this wouldn't be my first choice to go to in a defensive situation. This is more or less just for like sport shooting and overall general plinking. So anyhow, that's the Sig Sauer Mosquito. It looks like that. So anyhow, thanks guys for watching, and hope you liked the video. Kind of a basic synopsis of the Mosquito. I like it. I think it's a good firearm to own. It's reasonably priced, like I said. I think it runs around $300, and is where the 226 runs like closer to $1,000, $1,200, whatever, depending on what options and where you buy it and so forth. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll have some more videos coming up with some new products I got in. Have a good day, guys. Have fun shooting. Thanks for watching.